Hello, welcome back to The Seven, Living with the Planets. I am Lucy Baldwin. I have a special episode for you today about 4th of July and abundance magic. And I'm going to so I'm going to go out on a limb here a little bit. This is really directed at Americans mostly. Um, but yeah, 4th of July is upon us, and I just I have I have thoughts. I have thoughts, and I want to talk about using the 4th of July, using magic. Um around the 4th of July. And I also want to talk about abundance magic in general, um, and its relationship to gratitude. Gratitude. Gratitude is one of the key things. And I think a lot of us know this and we've heard it all before. Maybe you're thinking, maybe you're wanting to scroll away from this episode, but don't because, okay, I hear you that it is cliche. Some things are cliche for a reason. And I just want to really put a very large pin in this point, big exclamation point that gratitude is part of abundance magic. It's a necessary ingredient. Um it is it's a key element to the whole thing. When you want more of something or when you want something that you don't have. Um, but especially when you want more than you already have, which pretty much all of us do. Gratitude is is kind of a necessary ingredient in two ways. So, firstly, in being able to even manifest the thing that you want, you need to you don't need to, you don't have to, but my word, does it help to appreciate what you already have. You know, we're constantly signaling things to our unconscious. We're constantly doing magic on ourselves, on the world, on the universe. And um lack of gratitude, we could even go as far as saying entitlement, lack of appreciation is a very loud signal of I mean, think about it. If a child is like wants something from you and you've just given them like let's say you give a child a bunch of macaroni and cheese and then they didn't eat their mac and cheese and they're complaining about it and then they're like I want more mac and cheese. You don't want to give them mac and cheese. Even okay, let's say even softer, you give them some mac and cheese, they eat the mac and cheese and they're like that wasn't enough. Are you like, "Oh, let me just do everything I can to get you more?" No, because 'cause you're like, "That's a bad attitude." Like, how about a thank you first for the mac and cheese that I already gave you? How about some acknowledgement? How about some appreciation? So, I think that, so that's just on the manifesting side of things. It's just it's all in how we're holding it. I'm not saying there's some like mommy of the universe who's like, you're not having enough gratitude, but you know, your own psyche knows, your own mind knows. And um, there's just humans are so weird. There's these layers of um like layers of us that we are completely unaware of, and there's so much obscurity. There's so much obscurity. Like we're the weirdest creatures, and this is part of why I love humans because we're so fascinating because we don't know what we want, we don't know what we need, we don't know what we're thinking about things. We're often like very out of touch with our own feelings and beliefs and understandings. Um and so it sounds weird, I feel like, because sometimes we can often attribute a lot of knowledge to our minds. Um, and if that sounds weird to you, I get it. It is weird. It is weird. But the thinking part of our mind is just like it's such a small piece of it. And I'm talking not about the brain necessarily, but the brain is a really powerful metaphor for the mind. Like the brain, it's like you think up here, but the rest of your brain is like making calculations and monitoring all these different things and filtering what you see and filtering what you hear and turning what you hear into words and making meaning of it, and then you're just getting the meaning that your brain has already done all this processing to create that meaning. And when you get into the world of illusions, it literally chooses meanings based on things that you have no control over. So there is definitely like a bigger mind going on here, not the brain but mind, that knows a bunch of stuff that you don't know about yourself. And it's learned all these things that you may or may not even know that you've learned. So you know again, an analogy with the body is like walking just seems so easy and obvious to us, to the point that we're just like, I want to be over there, and then you're just, oh, your body just picks you up and carries you over there, and you don't know like what muscles you used in what order and how much. And balance is just amazing. It's amazing what our bodies can do. And it's the same thing for our minds. Okay. So there is much that is obscure to us about our own mind. And we don't realize sometimes that we're sending messages constantly to our own mind, along the lines of, I don't appreciate money. I don't appreciate abundance. I don't appreciate the people around me. I don't appreciate all this food that I have access. Like, we just, if you're signaling like lack of gratitude, lack of appreciation, you're kind of implying that you don't value those things very much. And it's a completely, we can't even see it. We can't even see that we're doing that. So that's the magic side. On the other side is just the truth of the matter is that if you're not able to appreciate what you already have, why do you think you're going to be able to appreciate getting this thing that you want? And let's say you do appreciate it. How long are you going to? How long are you going to before you want more? There's nothing wrong with wanting more, but asking for more, seeking more from a place of wholeness is so much better than seeking it from a place of lack and insecurity and just like dissatisfaction. When people ask for things from a place of dissatisfaction, the the human nervous system, it's not, we don't like to respond to that. It's just, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's like, you can use guilt and you can use all, and some people feel like responsible. You're creating like a negative experience for everybody when you do that. And I'm not trying to shame anyone. I'm not trying to judge anyone. We all do this. I just want to sort of explain why gratitude is so important. And I'm not talking about like waking up and having like one little thing that you write down that you're grateful for. I'm talking about being grateful for fucking everything. Your life, your your everything, your physical body, the people in your life, the access that you have to internet, food, uh, fresh air, sunlight, the ability that you have to walk the streets in relative safety, the ability that you have to move if you don't like where you live, the ability that you have to go out and find ways to make money. And to create things and to say whatever you want. Yeah, I'm kind of getting somewhere here. I feel like I feel like I'm going to get in a lot of trouble with this, because I guess what I'm saying is that we have a lot to be grateful for. We have a lot to be grateful for. Um and I think that it applies to anybody who's watching this podcast or listening to this podcast. I'm just going to go ahead and say that I think that you have a lot to be grateful for. And I think that there is a lot of really dark, seriously messed up stuff happening in the world right now and at all times, and especially right now, and maybe more so every goddamn day. Um, and there is so much good happening in the world. I follow this thing on Instagram, and it's like good news. It's like a I don't know I don't know what it's called, but there's accounts that they just put out like good positive things that are happening in the world. It's like, species are coming back, and like, there's positive things happening. There's people like cleaning up the ocean, and there's just like there's people who care, do taking like real action every day in the world to help, and we don't see any of that. Like, that is not what pops up in the news. That's not what pops up in our feeds usually, unless you seek that stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is seek that. If you're somebody who's on social media, follow accounts that are spreading beauty, follow accounts that are spreading the good things that are happening. I'm not saying you have to stick your head in the sand and like ignore all the bad things, or stop caring about them or anything like that, but we do have so much to be grateful for. And when we live from that place, we create more of it. We create more of it. We get more goodness. We create more goodness. It's kind of like this funny thing. I follow this. I don't just follow her. I'm in her membership. This person who teaches like online business stuff, and she is always talking about how she makes like seven figures, and she uses that money to do like amazing things in the world, and she's always sharing about it. And there's a lot of people who don't want to make a lot of money, and she's constantly talking about this because we see money as bad and we see power as bad, and we're like afraid of getting involved in that bad stuff. But um you know, when you have money, you can vote with your dollar. You can choose to spend your money on things that you value, choose to support people and causes that you care about. And so, um, we want to have more. We w I want us to have more, so much more, because if we have the power and we have the money, and when we step into our power and our magic and our abundance, we spread that shit, and then there's more of it, and it grows, and it's like this, it becomes this snowball effect that you wouldn't even be able to stop it. We there's just and that's already happening. It's happening all the time. And so I just want to encourage us to build on that. And I'm not saying like gaslight yourself. I'm not saying like try to bypass or ignore or not deal with or not face shitty stuff and the shitty things that are happening. But when we fight for something, we have so much more power than when we fight against something. So, coming back to 4th of July, abundance, gratitude, and my lecture here. I'm lecturing again. I'm sorry. Um, but I hope you feel like, I don't know. My intention is to inspire you, um, to see the good, to seek the good, to choose to honor that which is good, and have gratitude for it. Have gratitude for the good and not only focus on the bad. And this 4th of July, it's America's 250th year. And it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. And I feel like there's been so much doom and gloom. There's an overabundance. I'm an anti-conformist, right? So I always have to be counter the narrative. And right now, for years, the narrative has been to, I feel like, a lot of just like hating our country, hating America. And I just want to challenge you, if you are feeling that way, if you are hating on America, I want to challenge you to think about what are the strengths of America? What are the good things about America? Um, what do you appreciate about America? Because I think that we can get stuck in only focusing on the negative and fail to have gratitude for that which we already have. And from that place, we only lose our power. We only lose our voice. And as of right now, we still have free speech, and free speech is a very big deal. And so we have the ability to speak out against things that our government does that is bad. That's huge. Um, we I think that, broadly, the country, the culture, like, people are waking up, so that's something to be extremely grateful for. People are waking up to, you know, things that are bad. Um, but when we come at it from this angle of not appreciating and having no gratitude for what we do have, um, which is, it's, it is objectively not what it was a few generations ago, a couple generations ago. It is objectively harder. The American dream is I don't know. It is harder. And I say that as a woman who works for myself online, and supports my family doing this. So there's a lot to be grateful for too. There are choices that we have, and let's be grateful for those. Um, I'm just thinking about things that we can really be grateful for, and I'm sure that you can think of some too. And I just want to encourage gratitude. I just want to encourage the gratitude, because when we come from a place of gratitude, when we fight for the things that we want, the things that we value, um, first of all, it doesn't divide us in the same way. When everybody is against everything, it's like a, just in the stature of against, when you're holding againstness, um, it really divides us. And I think that there are certain things that we can prioritize, that we can be grateful for, and that we can fight for. And um, and through that, we can create change, and we can, um, together cast the spell of ridding the the things that are not working, the things that are taking us to places that we don't wanna go. And also, again, because of, I have a tendency to kind of, like, hate on social media and the online world, like, our addiction to being online, which I realize is ridiculous, because that's how I make a living, and I'm a complete hypocrite in some sense. That is not beyond my awareness. But what what that gives us, the amazing gift, is that people are really waking up. We are really waking up, and together, people have so much power. We have so much power. So, and we do have free speech, and we do have rights, and we live in extreme abundance. So, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Um, and I'm trying to be so careful, because I do not this is not a political stance. This is a cultural thing that I'm talking about. I feel like everything has been politicized. And I'm totally I never share this kind of thing, but that's not it. The politics is not it. Um, and the politicians, they're not it. They're not it. So our job is to have gratitude for the things that we do have, because we live in a time of incredible abundance, and we have incredible freedom to move around, to travel, to speak our mind, to connect with people from all over the world, and to do magic. We can do magic. We can choose our beliefs, and um, we are free to, you know, our spirituality in whatever form it takes for us. So I just want to encourage you to find gratitude for what is good. And I think that fireworks are actually a really powerful abundance ritual. Doing fireworks, using fireworks as an abundance ritual. So I declare 4th of July abundance ritual. Let's do it. Let's get out there and create the world that we want to create. Let's get out there and shout our truth, our desire, our vision, and have gratitude. Do it from a place of gratitude. And so I put together an official 4th of July ritual that you can get there's a link to get it. You can download it for free. It's in the description of this episode. So it's a ritual that we can all do together on 4th of July as magicians and create the world that we want to create from a place of gratitude and appreciation. And just always remember gratitude is a key element of all of this. It's a key element of manifestation. It's a key element of being able to be happy, to be able to feel and become what you want to feel and become. If you cannot access gratitude, you will never be satisfied. So, working on that and practicing it. And it's so easy to let the bullshit get in the way. It's so easy to turn ourselves off with thinking about all of these. There's so much to think about that's bad. There's so much that we can dwell on, and choosing not to. We have the power to choose not to, and that's how we create a better world, by not letting it control us and doing our magic. So, thank you so much for watching this episode. And don't forget to get the free download of this 4th of July ritual. And let's all do it together. I will see you in the next episode.